Okay, good morning. Well, not morning, it's later in the day now, it's afternoon. But top of the afternoon to y'all. This video is titled, Can You Use Wagtail Highflyer on First Cleans? A lot of people have a little argument and debate with combination tools such as this, that you couldn't use this on a first time clean. I beg to differ. It depends on how you work. Not everybody works the same. And so where somebody would lack in that area of thinking, I do a lot more of that because I'm involved in my work. And when you love something, you're going to find the best solution to get yourself out of a jam, basically. It all boils down to that individual on how bad he wants to get the job done with what he has to work with. So, let me show you something. Alright? Now you see that? Yeah, you can see it. What is that? Take a guess. Pollen. Everything's green like the hawk. And during this time of year, I don't know where you guys are in the parts of the globe, whoever's watching this video. I'm sure pollen season starts for everyone. Well, no, that's not true. Because you have climates like Louie over there in Cali. What's up, Louie? I know they don't never see any cold weather, and I guess they don't really have a pollen season. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But here on the East Coast, it's an issue, okay? It's a very, very major issue with us because if you don't get your ledges properly, guess what happens? It leaves a green film behind. It looks like who did it and ran. And yes, you almost have to rinse your bucket and dump your tool, dunk your mop. You're changing your water more frequently. It's just nasty altogether. And with people with bad allergies and asthma, things of that nature, you're working in it, you're sticking your hands in it. That's why I don't touch my face. But let me show you something. Yes, you can do first time cleans. And this isn't a first time clean. This just hasn't been done in 3 months since the pollen season began. And yes, it is quite dirty. Not just because of the dirt, but because of that green crap on the windows. And it soaks that water like a sponge. Now, how do you think I get down with this? Because it doesn't hold much water, and you're stuck using the one side. So, does it get dirty? Absolutely it does. But let me show you what I do. This is not a challenge. This doesn't produce a challenge for me, seeing as how it's dirty. And I don't care what kind of window or what kind of job it hasn't been done in years. It still don't matter. I'll still break out that Highflyer, and I'll still get it done with those who think that it couldn't get done with that tool. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Alright, now, let me come in the sun. I know you can see the green stuff on the mop. Now check this out. I don't know if y'all can see the green stuff coming off of it. Oh, hold on. I ain't pumped this in a while. Let me put the phone down 1 second. Okay, now I'm using my brain. Now you see the dirt. Well, this is because I blasted. I was trying to hold the phone while I was trying to make a valid point here. Now, you would think a tool like this would inhibit you from cleaning the window properly, Well, maybe for the newcomers they might think this, but I assure you, vets and newcomers alike, this isn't a challenge on even the heaviest, remotely heaviest soiled window that you may ever come across in your field of expert window cleaning over the years. Nor will it ever be a disadvantage for a heavily soiled window with all that pollen on it. And do you have to worry about dunking this in a bucket? No. Do you have to worry about changing your water out of the bucket? Because you don't want to, when the time comes time to doing the insides, you don't want to use that same pollen saturated water that you've been using to do the outside with. So, how long does it take to fill up that bucket and go get water? Well, it also depends on your accessibility of water. And if you have a water key, and you can actually go and get water on the exterior of a commercial account without actually having to look for a janitorial closet. These are things that you got to think of when you're in business. Every little minute and second adds up. Now, I know that may be petty, and, oh, what's the second here, or what's the minute here to go run and go get water? I tell you, it's not much at all. But if you're doing that periodically, day in and day out, because you're trying to keep your water nice and fresh, you convert to this, or I don't care, use both. But what this does is, if you like working by bucket, you got people that's old school, and the bucket works just fine for them. They don't mind lifting it and carrying it around. I'm done with lifting and carrying a 5-gallon bucket around. I'd rather carry a 2-gallon pump sprayer, because the amount of water that 5-gallon bucket of water can hold, a 2-gallon bucket is equal to 5 gallons of water that you would carry by bucket by hand. Now, I know that math doesn't add up to some of you, but think about it like this. A 5-gallon bucket on a day like today with all that green pollen and crap, who do you think would be changing the water sooner? This 2-gallon pump sprayer will last me 2 days with that water in here, and that's working 8 hours a day, sometimes more. That will last me 2 days. You know what a bucket of a 5-gallon water as solution? I would have to change that about 3 times a day and waste my solution all over the ground or wherever it is I'm pouring it. You catch my drift? When you work in tandem with your pump spray and your bucket, you don't have to dunk it and put that saturated mop with all that green pollen crap in your bucket just to get it off the mop so you can have a clean mop. You take your mop or whatever it is you're using, the accelerator, I don't care what you're using, in between that pollen so you don't get your water dirty and you're not emptying it out and filling it back up multiple times a day. See that? Good as new. Good as new. This mop was totally green. And I'm talking about not green in a good way. Because when people think green, they're like, oh man, save the environment. It's good to go green. Nah, not this kind of green, baby. Not this kind of green. This kind of green you don't want no parts of. But it's necessary because we got to make money. But as you see here, this is green. And so will your mops be. So think smart. Work hard. Don't work hard. Don't keep dunking the mop. I mean, by all means, if you like seeing your mop dunking that water, because after a few windows, trust me, that water's going to be almost trash. You might as well throw it away. Like some of you might be doing already, but you're wasting solution. Work smart by way of pump sprayer. Blast that pollen, blast that dirt off, and you won't have to worry about wasting your chemicals. I mean, soap. I mean, how much is soap? Yeah, not much when you're talking about how much money a bucket of water would make us. You're talking about pennies. And if you're really using that kind of a soap that most people have a habit of using, which is Dawn, and also the ones that happen to use an extreme amount to make their tool work properly. I don't need a whole lot of soap to make my tool work properly. That's just a preference, like I said. Most people just like to see bubbles, but enough of that. Y'all get the point what I'm trying to say about this pollen and about this Highflyer. Yes, it can handle the most toughest and most difficult jobs that I have ever come across. It's nothing I can't do with this tool. And if I can't get it done, I'm going to find a way to get it done. And that's what a master's at work does. Find solutions, find problems, and create solutions. Macafrackalacka. Peace, peace, peace. Oh, let me tell you what I don't do with this mop. You know how you mop a window and then you wipe the ledge like that? I usually don't do it. Well, sometimes you can get it where it won't leave a film behind, but because it's coated in green, I usually take my rag and wipe the frame rather than use this to wipe the frame. It's not really saving me too much time by doing that, but I'd rather use my rag than to put green stuff from this pad on that frame, even though it didn't look like it left behind, but I just like to be thorough. There you have it.